So that was very freeing because it made me feel like, oh, I can do this, and other moms can too, because you're not trying to just like suppress your feelings while being calm. It's like, no, let your feelings run free and wild. And, that in itself essentially can calm you. Hi, I'm Chie Davis, and you are entering a world gone good.
Well, hello, my name's Steve, and it is A-May-Zing May here at World Gone Good. And what is A-May-Zing May? Well, besides being brilliant marketing on my part, I came up with it myself. I'm so clever. It's a double dose of good. We are bringing you twice the episodes every Wednesday for the month of May. So please, yes, double share our shows with your friends, subscribe, rate, review, do all those good things that you know that you can do to help us give the world 2 times the good we are all so richly deserving of. Okay, here's a question for you. Are you feeling just a little burned out? Has the last year maybe, okay, I'm going to be blunt, kicked your ass just a bit? Yeah, me too. And it also was that way and has been this way for our guest, Chie Davis. Chie traveled the world, reported the news, marketed a rap star, and then she became a mom. And she didn't want to lose herself in just being a mom, so she launched her own blog. It's called Mommafied. On it, she dives in and shares her tips and tools on mindfulness, meditation, keeping your sanity, and like we're just talking about, not losing yourself, your true self. So whether you've helped overpopulate the planet or not, I know I should totally write greeting cards, you guys, because that's the perfect Mother's Day card ever. Congrats on participating in overpopulation. Like a nice little, like a balloon maybe on it, like a hot air balloon with like somebody waving. All right, wait, where was I? Oh, yes. Whoever you are and whatever kids you've offsprung or not, today is about recentering around yourself. And we are recording live on location from
Pod School. Oh, sorry.
The backyard of Pod School.
Yes. Did you want to do that one again? Sorry,
No, you can talk right over me. We're recording on 2 separate tracks. This will be great for the listener if I keep it in.
Okay.
I can make you say anything. I can make me say anything, so we can talk at the same time. But this is awesome because you were just telling me about Pod School, and I want everyone to know what Pod School is because it sounds like podcast school. But guess what? It's not. Take it away.
Yes, Pod School is absolutely amazing and has totally saved my life during the pandemic and my kids' lives. As far as it's just, honestly, it's school at home. So my daughter and my son, pre-pandemic, were both in school, and then post-pandemic, my daughter is doing Zoom class online and all that good stuff. And, Zoom with a toddler, my 3-year-old, he was just not feeling it. So we're like, we've got to come up with another solution. We didn't know how long things were going to last. And obviously we still don't necessarily know. So Pod School is essentially like where a teacher will come to your house. You connect with another family or families, however many you want. We kind of choose to keep ours small. And then you connect with your family. They come to your house and you guys have school together outside, with masks and testing and safety precautions, etc., however you feel comfortable. And it's amazing because I get to step away for a minute and breathe and feel like a regular person again.
Now, did you pick the family? Do you know the family that you picked, or did you just look online and find a family that was nearby?
Oh yeah, you can do both. I picked a family, and I picked somebody that I knew, a good friend of mine who I've known since high school. So that's like, it was awesome. And we've always like wanted the kids to play together anyway. So now they're like, they must, they're like mandated to play together for 4 hours. And yeah, or you can, if you don't know of a family, you can actually do it, the same that way as well. You can pick somebody online, and they'll connect you with a family. Then you have to just make sure, like, you have to agree on certain things. Like we've agreed not to necessarily go to like, crowded places. Like we're not taking our kids to amusement parks. So it's just certain parameters that you have to make sure that both families are kind of staying as safe as possible.
That's so interesting. It's so cool. Now, this is awesome because this show is going to be part of our double Mother's Day celebration. The whole month of May, I'm doing double shows, and you are part of this because you are a mother.
Oh, yay. I love it.
And I'm a mother too, but a different kind of mother. Don't you get what I'm saying? Okay, but
Oh.
so let's start. I love starting wide and then narrowing ourselves in. What is the best thing about being a mom?
Oh my gosh. Okay. That's really, really wide. Well, honestly, I didn't necessarily know if I was going to be able to become a mom because I kind of started the mom journey a little bit later in life. I'm in my 40s now, and I started having kids in my late 30s, and it just, like societal pressures, like, what are you doing? Like, once you're 30 and you don't have children. And I just decided to sort of take my time with it. So I was able to travel and do a lot of other cool things, which I think really enhances my motherhood journey now. It's almost like you're living again. Like you see life through their own eyes, and like their first experience is almost like you're reliving your first experience doing certain things. Like my son right now is like not really into pants and wearing pants. And so sometimes it's like, why fight the feeling? Like, why don't we all just like try not wearing pants for a little bit and like see why he likes it? So it's like little things like that you don't necessarily think about, that you're just like, okay, this is life.
Oh my God, that is so funny. How old's your son?
He's 3.
Okay, so my nephew was about the same age. My nephew's now in his 20s, and hopefully he does not listen to this because my nephew used to come out with naked, totally naked, and he would point at his business and go, "It up, it up," and my sister would be like, "Don't say anything, don't say anything, don't say anything." And the way we would handle it is like my dad would roll his eyes, and then I would look at him. I go, "Hey, John," and he like, "Yes," and I'd go, "Where's your clothes?" And he'd be like, "I took them off." And I'd go, "Are my clothes on?" And he's like, "Yes." And I go, "So should I take my clothes off?" And he's like, and he had to think about it. I'm like, "Well, we're all wearing clothes right now, so why don't you go put your clothes back on?" And he'd be like, "Okay." And then he'd go put his clothes, I'd go help him and stuff. And my sister was like, "Oh my God, you made that so simple." And I don't have kids. I wasn't going to embarrass him. But to this day, a 3-year-old, 2-year-old running in and pointing and saying "it up" is still the funniest thing I've ever seen. Because you're trying not to look. You don't want to confirm
That's amazing.
or deny it. You just want to make it. Like, we're just gonna make this normal. We're gonna make your body is your body is a temple. You're all good.
Yeah, that's also like something that I find kind of like almost like I'm feeling my way through it, is like learning how to have like a good balance between not fighting or struggling with them and kind of going with the flow. And it's moments like that, when the pants are down or they're about to come down at the most horrific moment, that you're like, should I go with this or should I actually like set some parameters?
That's amazing. Now, you opened your own company called Mommafied. Is that correct?
Yes, yes. I have a brand called Mommafied, and it's all about health, wellness, and self-care for busy moms. And it's a website and it's a blog, and really just like sort of chronicling life as a mom, as a mom who initially was experiencing a lot of burnout, and so that's sort of why I decided to turn it from just like, hey, look at my kids, to like, hey, look at me. Let's look at what's going on here and like, let's get healthy.
What were you doing previously? Did you have a career that you had as your own before you became a mom?
I've done everything from evening news to worked at major networks and done production to writing, doing like online articles and multimedia reports and stuff like that. And so I was doing some of that. I've also done marketing. I've also traveled to 40 different states with a rap star.
What?
Yeah, like I used to do marketing for a rapper's clothing line. And Yeah, so like I've had my fair share of a variety of careers, and I even actually had a TV show in the Caribbean where I like just traveled through the Caribbean, talked about how much fun it was, and it was honestly a dream job. I'm like, wait, what happened there? Why am I not doing that anymore? But yeah, like I've done quite a bit of everything, and honestly, like it all kind of boiled back into writing, and that being sort of my form of self-care and therapy, and just kind of like writing through everything. So that's how I came to blogging. And then I realized through it, actually during the pandemic, I was juggling a couple of jobs, and then all of a sudden your kids are going to be home all day. Like it was like, whoa, a lot of things going on, a lot of sharp changes at once. And my birthday came up, and my daughter, she like brought me this little, like, she loves unicorns, and she was like, "Mommy, just have this." And she gave me this like sleep mask, this like unicorn sleep mask. She was like, "Just lay down." Okay. And so like she literally like made me wear it almost like every night consistently for like a couple of weeks. And I was like, okay, I'm starting to feel better, and I don't know why. So I like just started like researching sleep and like sleep masks, and I'm like, hey, like she's on to something, like this actually does work. And so now I produce sleep masks as well. Like I've created sleep masks. So
That's amazing. How old is your daughter?
She's 7.
Isn't it just so amazing that it's just sometimes the simplest of things that work for a kid that we forget worked for us too when we were kids?
Totally. I mean, I can't imagine like how many times did I fall asleep under my grandmother's, literally under her table, and took a good nap. And I was like refreshed afterwards. Yes. Like that was our nap area, was under the table. She would watch Price is Right, and we would get our nap in,
That's amazing. So we talk about a burned out mom, which it sounds like you are or were. You were.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And yes, I was.
And how did you project that into creating Mommafied?
Well, I honestly I felt like if I was going to have a blog that was all about health and wellness and self-care, I couldn't be like walking around like sleeping for 3 hours and like surviving off of like, beanies and weenies. Like I needed to get my life together a little bit, not just for the sake of the blog, but for the sake of my kids, myself, So I essentially really started thinking about, for me, like what is important. Like my sister passed away when she was 43 years old because she had a heart attack, and she wasn't taking care of herself. She was taking care of everybody else, but just not herself. And so I think that once that happened, it really sort of stuck with me, and it made me think a lot harder about what I was putting in my body, how much sleep I was getting, how I was taking care of the kids, and like what, just forms of media they were exposed to, just all types of stuff. And so I wanted to I changed my life essentially, like completely. Like I became vegan. I started being very consistent with working out, and like, I just found that I felt a lot better, and it almost like felt like I was more in control of things, and less burnt out. And so I realized like I wanted to start sharing that with other moms, because I certainly knew I was not the only one feeling like this. Like that's all moms can talk about is like sleep deprivation. It's almost like a joke, like, haha, like how much sleep don't you get, And so I'm like, this is not normal. Like this cannot be life, So I just started I started literally just like every week sitting down and writing about what I was going through, what I was experiencing, and remedies, solutions. Like, okay, we know we're not getting sleep. How can we help? How can I help? Let me talk to a meditation expert, because I need to figure out how to meditate. Like everybody says meditation is great, and I sit there and nothing's happening. Am I doing this wrong? Like what can I do to really get to the core of well-being and wellness?
I love that, because there's an expectation with meditation that I don't think that people always understand, which is people think, okay, this will be so easy, or it's so simple. And so much of meditation is allowing the conditions around you to still function and happen while you accept them happening, but you're in your own space.
Yes. Yes. it's also like, as a mom, it's like, wait, how meditation? What? No, like my kids are running around, like somebody's going to pull somebody's like leg off. Like, it's a lot going on a lot of the time. So it's like to be able to actually sit and like quiet yourself and like calm your mind, I think is amazing if you can do that, if you know how to do it, and if you're given the tools, to be able to do that, because then you don't react as rough. Whereas like,
Right.
it's a lot easier to function if you can calm your mind every now and again and not be like constantly just like doing and acting and going, but essentially like going a little bit deeper.
And you can do it for 30 to 60 seconds. I think people think meditation is a commitment like a 60-minute yoga class.
Yes.
And it's not. It can be like just like a power nap. Like a 22-minute power nap is way better for me than a 3-hour nap, even though I do enjoy a 3-hour nap.
Yeah, I can't do the 20-minute naps. I'm like, give me a couple hours or I'm not into it. I've tried 30 minutes. It feels like cheating. I'm like, I need more. But yeah, meditation for sure. It's helped a lot.
And do you offer some blogs and posts about that on your site?
Yes. I actually spoke to I spoke to a meditation expert at USC, and I wrote up our whole article about it and a post about it. And I honestly wanted to dive a little bit more into it. And one of the things that he actually did say was like, basically like attach it to, for busy people, attach it to something that you're already doing. Like if you're waking up in the morning and you're either praying or you're, doing something, like you're exercising, then attach it to that. Like just take 3 minutes, like start off really like, short period of time and do it. And then other thing that he said that really, really stuck with me was allow your mind, like don't try to quiet your mind. Like, yes, like work with the elements that are around you. And also don't try and like edit your mind. Like, oh no, I'm not supposed to be thinking about that. Like, I'm not supposed to be thinking about this or that. More like, oh yes, bring those thoughts on. Let me feel it. Like, let's fully get into what I'm thinking about, because then you can assess it and like learn how to deal with it better and move forward. Or it can be like, okay, that's here, it's gone, and now I don't have to really think about it anymore. So that was very freeing, because it made me feel like, oh, I can do this, and other moms can too, because you're not trying to just like suppress your feelings while being calm. It's like, no, let your feelings run free and wild. And, that in itself essentially can calm you.
Okay, here's the question, and you may or may not have the answer. Do you have a top 3 piece of advice for burned out moms?
My first thing would be to look at what your habits are and to look at like the things that you're doing every day. There's, even with burnt out moms, there's a schedule, there's a routine that we sort of keep every single day, even if it's, sit down with my coffee, don't get to drink it, go, do X, Y, Z. And so I would kind of like look at what are you doing every day, and how can you carve out some sort of time for yourself? Because essentially a lot of the times burnout is not about just being like so tired. It's really about like not like properly allocating your time to put time in for yourself. Like you're giving so much time to somebody else or something else. So I would just like see like, one, can you like carve out time for yourself, and where can it be? Like for me, it's early mornings. Like I get my workout in, I do meditation. That's like my time. So like, can you find your time somewhere in that day? And then 2, set parameters with anybody that is your support system or your team, whether that be your spouse or family. Set parameters. And what I mean by that is like, let them know that like the kids have to be in bed by 8:00, or dinner should be on the table by this time. Like try and set those parameters for you so that like once the kids are in bed, you don't just automatically pass out on the couch, and that you have some sort of time to feel Like to not even like, also, I think for me, time blocking is so important because it allows me to think about one thing at one time. Like I'm not like when I'm doing my work, I'm thinking about my work. When I'm spending time with my kids, I'm thinking about that. I'm not thinking about work. Like if I block my time every morning, like, set out these like time blocks, then it just mentally, it helps so much more because I can be present every single time. So I would say set parameters, find space, carve out that time for yourself, even if it's in many little chunks throughout the day or once in the morning and once at night. Just give yourself at least 30 minutes and time block. That is a good start.
That's a great start. And you were just talking about a support system. So for those of us who are not moms, what can we do to help the process, to help the moms? I mean, other than, bathe the kids, I'm sure that's helpful too. Help with the damn kids. I'm sure that helps.
Right. No, totally. Yes, that helps a lot. I think that it kind of boils back to moms ourselves and that sense of control or not being in control. Like, for example, one thing that's really helped me is like when I just like let my children learn from other people, how different ways of sort of like teaching them and allowing them to be who they authentically are, not because, kids will act out in front of their parents all day long. They don't care because they feel comfortable with them. They know that you accept them, that you love them no matter what. When it comes to like somebody who maybe they don't know as well, they're going to be a totally different person. That's right. Why like parents, that's why like teachers are fine. Like, when it comes to disciplining their kids, they often have a better time at it because when you're with your parent, you're just like, whatever, you're my parent. Like I'll see you every single day for the rest of my life, hopefully, So yeah, I think like just being able to spend time with some, like if you have a friend or something like that who's having a tough time, seeing if you could just hang out with their kid, let them have like a moment to take a shower, honestly, a moment to take a walk, a moment to make a smoothie, something, and to have it in an uninterrupted meal, and I love my kids. I'm not saying like, I don't want to eat with them. I don't want to bathe with them or whatever, but sometimes you just need your own space and your own time.
Well, you don't want to lose your identity.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's so easy to do that. It really is. It came down to that for me. I think that's essentially why I really started writing my blog, because I was like, who am I even? It's like you get into this like rhythm and this routine of having your schedules and having your, your things that you need to do and the things that you think you should do. And you don't step outside of your daily routine. And it becomes like, it's like, who am I, a robot, or am I actually like a person, a living, breathing person? And, it's great to like do spontaneous things with your kids. Like, I'm not sure if you've seen that movie with Jennifer Garner, The Day of Yes.
I've heard about it. Yep.
Yeah. Like, so that was something that we did. We went up to Big Bear, like very sporadically, like just, it was essentially a day of yes. It was like, we're going to Big Bear. Oh, okay. Yes. Okay. Yeah. We're in the car now. And I was like, literally like clenching my teeth. Like, oh my God, what are we doing? We're leaving. Like, what about our schedule? Totally like freaking out. And then like, I realized like, as I was like clutching myself, that it's okay. Like, it's okay to step out of the front. And I had to look at myself like, who are you? Like, you used to jump on a plane in a second and go to the Caribbean. You used to like do all of these really cool, fun things. And now that you're a mom, like, why is that? Why has that changed? And really like examine like, the concept of spontaneity and like incorporating that into family life. It's important.
And I think that the last year has affected everyone, whether you have kids or not, in terms of these crazy schedules that we all had. Like I had, yes. My schedule was, pardon my language, fucking bonkers. I'll admit it. I was getting up every morning by 5:15, leaving my house at 6 a.m.,
Mm.
driving to the gym, doing a Barry's boot camp workout, which I still do at home.
Oh my gosh.
Doing a 45-minute swim, doing a lifts, whatever. I'm not claiming to be some jock. I was just trying to stay in shape. I was doing this 5 mornings a week, showering at the gym, getting to work. I was one of the first people in work. There's a guy named Chris who was always before me. He was on an earlier schedule. He always knew I was there because I'd walk in and my body would set off the lights, because it was motion detector. So then every morning he'd be behind his cubicle and he'd just go, "Morning, Steve." I'd be like, "Morning, Chris." And I was like in at like 8:51 a.m., right? And then I'd work until 5:15. Most of them work until 6 or 7. I was like, "I've been here since 8:51. Bye." And then I would drive home, long drive home because of traffic, LA, get home, make the Beyond Burger in the oven, eat the burger. And by 7:04 p.m., I was a blob on the couch going, "What is my life about?" It was all like boxes to check.
Yes, totally. I honestly, yeah. No, go ahead.
No, I'm saying same thing. I think that whoever we are, I've seen is like our schedulers were like a flick of a switch. Nope.
Yep.
Now figure it out. You're stuck at home. You got to look at yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. You have to like really sit with yourself. And that's essentially what I was thinking. I was like, what is happening here? Like we were doing, like with parents, it's like, you've got ballet, you've got swimming, you've got, we had like a gym practice, like it was a clarinet. We've got classical music class. Like it was insane. And then of course there's like birthday parties and, all types of things. And it was just like, honestly, I was talking about this with a friend the other day. I was like, how did I do all of that at all? Like it did not make sense. Literally, it would be like, Monday through Friday, go, go, go. Saturday, I was done. Like all I could do was literally like throw myself on the couch. I'm like, I don't care how many iPad hours you have. Just fire that thing up. Like I'm about to get into my reality TV,
Right.
And that was it. And then like Sunday would be like almost like cleaning up the mess of like of the fact that you're not able to like function on Saturday and trying to prepare yourself for the week. And then you go again. It was like, what is this life? It's terrible. And now I can I go to the grocery store and I'm like exhausted afterwards, like it's like one event, one thing a day, and that's it.
Mother's Day is going to be upon us quickly. What are some Mother's Day gifts that you recommend?
Oh my gosh. Do they have to be physical or can they be like, give your mom some time?
Honestly, that's what I'm talking about, because I think so many people think they're supposed to get their mom 5 dozen roses.
Yes.
But I think there are other things we can do. And I think you can speak to that.
Yeah. I'm thinking about like what the moms that I know would love. One thing that I think would be amazing, get your mom a day at a hotel by herself. Like let her go to the hotel and order room service, sleep in as much as she wants to, and this is something that she can do now in the pandemic because, hotels need business. Book her a hotel stay for a day. Let her get away for that moment. And hey, if like the budget is tight, give her like a day in her room by herself. I'm serious. Let her have time to read a book, to take a bath, to have a nice bubble bath. Hey, get her like a free therapy session. Like a lot of the times it's like, oh, how are the kids doing? The kids are fine, but I am not. So like, let her have that time to talk to somebody, to talk through some stuff. I think that a therapy session would be an amazing gift.
And for all the good mothers out there who are rolling their eyes and going, I don't need any of this, my personal advice is share your wisdom with the mothers that do.
Yes, exactly. Yes, absolutely. I mean, I think that's the main thing is sharing, having that time. Or another thing I thought would be fun to do is also just like, if you want to do something like more family oriented, do something that you guys don't always do, do something that's like totally maybe even outside of your comfort level and just go and have fun and do it. Do something spontaneous, take a road trip or just do something that you just don't do. I think that that's a fun gift to give too.
We wrap up these shows with 3 questions. Don't worry, you know the answers. They're super simple.
Oh, okay.
Question number 1, where do people find you and where do people find Mommafied?
Absolutely. So you can find me on Instagram. It's at Get Mommafied, Get Mommafied, Momma Fied, Fied. I don't know if that makes sense.
That makes total sense. And where's the blog at?
The blog is at mommafied.com.
Okay, last 2 questions. These don't have to be mom related. They can be whatever you want. Question number 1, who inspires you?
My kids. My kids inspire me. And I know it's probably a generic answer, but I'm going with it because they allow me to know that it's okay to fail, that it's okay to take risks, and that it's actually kind of fun to do things again, but make it feel like it's the first time. They are amazing, and I'm so grateful that I get a chance to be their mom.
And the final question, tell me something good.
Loving yourself enough to give yourself a break and not feel guilty about it.
Thank you, Chie, for sharing your good. Check out Mommafied wherever you enjoy your blog time. Next time on World Gone Good.
I work with balloons. I created this book and it has 26 different balloon designs in it. That seriously is the biggest accomplishment of my life so far.
So I think today when we talk about representation matters, for a little Black girl like me growing up in DC, it did matter because I did see Renee Poussin on television and I thought that I could be her.
A-May-Zing May continues with 2 more really good new shows, if I do say so myself. My guests are Stephen Mayhew. He is a balloon expert, and Victoria Gaither. She is a world-traveling news anchor. They are 2 unique, inspiring people from, building 14-foot-tall balloon giraffes to winning Emmys to being featured in O Magazine. These 2 will inspire and uplift you and remind you, me, all of us, we must follow our passion. Plus, they both have really good hair. I'm not gonna lie. Seriously, you guys, really good hair. I'm more than a little jealous. Until then, be good.